Hello all and welcome to CCL Sports Cards. I'm Chris Davies and this is my YouTube channel. As I plan to do going forward, I'm going to feature prospects who I'm partial to, that I have my money invested in, and why. As some of you watching this know, I'm a big fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, I know they're often horrible, but you can't deny they develop some great talent, even if it ends up going somewhere else before long. Growing up in the 80s and a Pirates fan, I had the privilege of watching what I consider one of the best outfields in modern baseball in Andy Van Slyke, Bobby Bonilla, and a very, very young Barry Bonds, with Andy and his 2020 skill set really appealing to the younger me. While that's not always admired or respected in the hobby, I've always been partial to fellas who bring a rounded game to the field. And by rounded, I mean a player who hits .290 with 15 home runs, 15 steals, maybe a bit better. I'm not talking about the superstar who has 30-30 or even 40-40 potential. I only say this to you so that you all know where my biases lie. This week, let's dig in and talk about Jared Triolo. Jared was the 72nd pick in the 2019 MLB draft. He played his college ball at Houston, a school perhaps not best known for baseball, but still a Division I school. I know one-time would-be great and Heisman Trophy-winning QB Andre Ware went there, but he was a colossal flop for my beloved Detroit Lions. But I digress. Jared's pro ball debut in the New York Penn League with the Pirates in 2019 was kind of flat. He hit .234 with 2 home runs and a lackluster OPS of .703 in a little over 230 at-bats. He then, like most minor leaguers, missed all of 2020 due to COVID, so I suppose it's understandable that he's kind of overlooked at this point. I mean, we as collectors are always interested in what's shiny and new. At least that's been my perspective. Going into 2021, I had forgotten about him too until a friend of mine had his 2019 Bowman Draft Chrome Orange Refractor Auto in PSA 10 for sale on eBay. Now, I wouldn't say I was immediately on the Triolo train after I bought this card, but being a Pirates fan, the Orange Triolo was just a super cool, low-pop card that I wanted to add to my collection. But having that orange card, thanks to an incredible price given to me by my man Ty Diggs on eBay, gave me incentive to dig a little deeper into Jared and his cards. Liking what I saw, I looked for more Triolos to build out my rainbow, and they were cheap. I mean, early in 2021, after buying the orange refractor, I picked up his gold wave in PSA 10 a couple weeks later for $170, and that's in Canadian funds. Triolo's cards saw a little bit of a demand bump as the 2021 season rolled along, and maybe another modest climb as the season closed out. Jared finished 2021 with a very respectable average of .304 to go along with 15 home runs and 78 RBI. That actually led the club by a nice margin. 25 steals and an OPS of .849 in 421 ABs. Those are pretty impressive numbers for a guy who hit .239 and 234 at-bats and then missed all of 2020. Granted, Jared played on a stacked high-A Greensboro team, playing with Nick Gonzales, the 7th overall pick in 2020, and guys like Liover Peguero, who is all the rage in 21 Chrome, and Matt Frazier, who was promoted to AA Altoona midsummer after tearing up high A. But Jared was giving nothing. He began the year hitting 6th and 7th before slowly climbing to 3rd, eventually becoming protection for the number 2 man, Nick Gonzales, affectionately known in my circles as Nicky G. And that's where Jared spent the majority of the season after that. My question is, why is a guy like Triolo overlooked? Let's compare his slash line to Nicky G's for a moment. Look how similar their numbers are. Granted, Gonzales finished with more home runs in less ABs, largely due to absolutely destroying the ball in August and September, but otherwise, the numbers are still fairly similar, with both players kind of having an edge here and there. Jared has better speed, it would appear. And just to be clear, I like Nicky G a lot and have chased him a ton, so I'm not hating on him at all. I'm merely asking a question. Now, I know that speculating in anything is irrational, whether we're talking sports or the stock market. But there is such a huge discrepancy here. Jared's 2019 Bowman Draft Gold Refractor Auto in PSA 10 was just sold on October 2nd. A best offer, but was listed at $250. Nicky G's Gold Auto from 2020 draft in PSA 9 was sold, again a best offer, on October 9th at $1,500 or less. That's 6 times more, and Nicky's card wasn't even a 10. How that makes any sense is beyond me, but it totally begs the question, why? Is it the 1-year age difference between them? Is it because Gonzales came in as the 7th pick? Is it Nicky's marginally higher fielding percentage? I doubt it. I mean, Jared just won a Gold Glove at 3rd, and collectors rarely pay up for a good glove anyway. Nick and Jared even play in the same organization and on the same team. So what makes Nicky G's cards 10x or more? Tell me in the comments below. I'm so curious why this is. Thankfully, I hit a couple of Gonzales Golds and other color autos this summer, breaking, but to buy his orange PSA 10 at just under 10 grand is not something I'm going to do. I got Triolos at a fraction of that. It's truly unfortunate I like both prospects. They're both great infielders, they're both super talented, and I love their swings. I watched more Greensboro Grasshoppers games than any man should this past summer, but that team was absolutely loaded. With Quinn Priester and Carmen Majinski, both huge pitching studs, anchoring the rotation, plus the aforementioned bats, that team was something to see. I was surprised they lost in the championship to the Hot Rods, Tampa's high A team. As always, I appreciate you, your time, and want to thank you for watching. And just a reminder that anything I say is strictly my opinion and should not be considered advice in any way. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. All right, P.S. If you see the Triolo Superfractor, let me know. Happy Monday, y'all. Go Bucks.